My girlfriend wanted to break up with me because I can do the splits?
That's a super cool thing, though.
Seems like a plus. I've male 25, been with my girlfriend, female 24, for the past 4 years, and we're currently engaged. Planning our wedding for hopefully early next year, since we figured most of 2021 would be used to really get past the latter stages of the pandemic. We rarely ever fight, but she insists I broke her trust over what happened a few days ago.
What?
By the way, this comes from Deleted, and you can submit your own stories on the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Angie.
And I'm Riley.
And OP says, my girlfriend works full-time as a receptionist, but also does yoga very seriously on the side. She has a separate Instagram account just for yoga and teaches a few clients at a gym as well. I used to do gymnastics growing up before switching to aerial circus at a nearby studio for a few years. Sick. Aerial is very cool.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly focusing on aerial straps in my early high school years before stopping due to repeated injuries. I still try to keep some of the conditioning I learned and apply it when I'm training at the gym today. But my problem started when she asked me to help her film something. She has a YouTube channel that she's constantly trying to grow, and she asked me to help with the splits tutorial, where she would do advanced versions of stretches while I did more basic versions for inflexible people. When she had me try a few of the stretches she had in mind, she was surprised with how easy some of them were for me. When she sarcastically asked me if I could do the splits, I showed her that I could. And for some reason, she got really offended. I wasn't showing off or anything, I just did the poses she asked. I helped her with other videos before, but when she asked how I learned it, I told her about gymnastics and aerial straps before high school, and how I tried to keep some conditioning exercises a part of my gym routine. Okay, right. He's not doing the aerial currently. He's doing the conditioning for aerial. But still, I mean, like, it never came up.
Also, like, why would that be a problem?
She got offended that I never told her about it. But I did tell her about it years ago. She just didn't seem to remember, and that's fine. I don't think it's that important. I told her the last time I did aerial straps or gymnastics was like 9th grade, maybe 10th. But she spun it into, what else are you hiding? And called me a liar. Asked, why don't I make an Instagram just like her and stuff like that. I honestly didn't know why she was getting so worked up. Also, how did it never come up? How did she never notice he was flexible?
Like in other situations?
How did it never come up?
Good question.
I told her I was sorry, despite not thinking I had anything to be sorry for, but her mood was ruined and she gave up on the video idea, saying she changed her mind and acting distant for the rest of the day. When I got home and tried to text her again that I was sorry, she didn't respond. She hasn't responded to anything I've texted her for 4 straight days, and when we almost always talk. Then finally, about a week later, she told me she wanted to take a break from our relationship and a bunch of other things about how she couldn't trust me. What is going on?
They were about to get married, guys.
What?
Dude, they were engaged.
They were literally about to get married.
Engaged to be wed, and she's taking a break because she didn't know he could do the splits?
Yeah, like he just, put it in split mode and...
Specifically, she didn't remember. She forgot that he told her.
I will say, if Angie and I were engaged and we were playing basketball and she just dunked on me, I might need to take a break and just figure out what my life has been.
But then if Angie told you, hey, yeah, you remember I played basketball for years, then you'd, like, I told you that. That's on you.
With their experience that she has right now, I'd still probably be like, I need to, like, rethink everything.
Well, sure. But then it might realistically be a thing where it's like, oh, I just wanted to surprise you. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's
But how did
so
you dunk?
stupid.
Why can I not dunk and you can't?
Now you feel
now
inferior.
now we have to
that's
remove the problem. Yeah, exactly.
The monster.
Exactly.
Well, I think she's overreacting. I couldn't bring myself to say that and told her I'd respect her request and that I was sorry for offending her again. But it's almost been 3 weeks. Don't marry this woman.
I
And
hate
she
it all.
hasn't contacted me. One of her mutual friends contacted me and said she's been talking crap about me to some other girls. When I decided to open up and tell him how I thought she was being ridiculous, he said she cares way too much about her Instagram and called her arrogant. I'm kind of upset at myself for not telling her how ridiculous she was sounding and just sucking up, but I'm getting worried. We still have engagement plans, but I'm also reconsidering how easily she gets offended over something as small as this. Before I break her no contact and try calling her back, I've really been thinking about this and just need to hear some other opinions. I also want to ask how I should reach out after her request for space to see where we stand with the engagement and our future in general, or if I should even reach out at all or just wait for her. There is an update.
I would wait for her to hit you up, and then if it's been 2 weeks, you might have to break the ice.
I disagree. Honestly, I feel like you're about to marry this woman. I'd be like, hey, we need to talk or we're not getting married. Honestly, I probably wouldn't marry her anyway, but like,
Honestly.
say that.
Yeah,
I'd be
I feel like
this is ridiculous.
totally.
You're not ready for an adult relationship if you're going to ghost me for 3 weeks.
Yeah, because then also, like, what kind of environment does that set for the marriage? Of like, oh,
Bad
like, if
one.
I say something that I didn't tell you before, you're gonna be mad at me and give me the silent treatment?
Yeah, if you find
Like,
out I have a
what?
cousin in, I don't know, Canada, are you going to
Yeah.
leave me?
Then it's like, you met my cousin. Like, that's what it's gonna
You,
be
yeah,
like.
yeah,
It's like,
you met my cousin.
you
and
met
he's
my
like, I don't remember that.
what do you mean you didn't know? Like, that's not my, you know what I
We
mean?
sent them a baby shower gift.
That's a terrible environment to be in. You're just gonna be so anxious and walking on eggshells all the time.
Yeah, but there's an update. It's been about a week, and she's kind of made the decision to break up on her own, actually. She went through and made her splits video on her own, and she actually threw a joke in there about how girls watching should ask their boyfriend if they can do the splits, too, and are shy about their talent. Honestly, I found it kind of funny at this point just to see how petty she was over this. Some of the girls in my friend group who took my side said that my fiance doesn't seem to understand what yoga means, and they happen to do yoga as well. They said she's stupid because she's certified and doesn't understand that yoga isn't a competition, but rather a personal journey. She seems to care more about showing off impressive poses on Instagram than actually promoting what yoga is about. And now she's basically body shaming me, and that's the opposite of what yoga stands for in their opinion. They also had an issue with the joke she made during the video, specifically with how she told the girls watching to ask their boyfriends if they could do the splits to see if they were hiding it from her. They said that came off as wrong, somewhat sexist, and immature. They also showed me some of the text she sent them. Stuff about how I'm hiding things from her and why was there a need to hide something as simple as that regarding my gymnastics background. It's like so shocking that she's upset because she forgot about something.
Literally. Even if you didn't know about it, it's like, don't you want to be surprised by your partner? Like, if they're 23 and she already thinks that she wants to know everything about her partner, you are setting yourself up for a boring life, dude.
Yeah.
Boring
I find
life.
new things about people all the time.
And it's great. That's what you want.
Anyway, personally, I think it's really dumb. Like, this is high school behavior, and maybe not even that, because when I was in high school, some people were petty, but this is just a lot. When I texted her about the wedding and asked her where we stand, I think it's pretty clear. She didn't respond. When I texted her again another day, she didn't respond again. When I tried calling her twice on the same days, she didn't respond either. I'm trying with the help of my parents to cancel the wedding on our side, but she and her parents are not responding. And with the payments they have down, we're nervous about getting looped into something they could hold against us. At this point, I could care less about the ring. I asked my dad if we should go over, but he said it was a bad idea given their behavior. We've talked to the planner who's had little communication with her family too, and that's pretty much where we are. I called her a few times and my parents called her parents, but they aren't responding. I want to ask how to get out of the wedding the most safe way possible with no strings they could hold on us, or if it's possible to cancel it without having to see any of them again. My dad is also inquiring how to do this on his own, but I want to ask here too. I could care less about the ring at this point. I also want to say thanks for all the advice. And there is an update 4 years later.
What? I thought that was going to be
Ooh-wee.
it.
No, 4-year update.
Dude,
What do you think? What do you think?
my
he's the
gosh.
split master, and he's just out there splitting and twerking, and he is now a
Wait,
successful.
it's splitting and
inter-
twerking.
Yeah, he's
splitting
splitting and twerking it.
Oh, I
Alright.
thought you said working.
Yeah, he's working it too. Yeah, and that's what he's doing on Instagram
Wow.
now.
Yeah, I don't even know what could happen. I have no, like,
I think that OP has gone back to Ariel,
okay, word.
and he's super famous
Yeah, I
for
like it.
Ariel,
Cool.
and he has a really popular Instagram.
Yeah. She then, like, oh, we should collab. Or
Yeah.
he starts teaching classes
No,
and
but
she
she
shows
forgets who he is.
up.
Because he uses a pseudonym,
Ah,
and he like hides his face
uh-huh.
because he doesn't want the fame.
Yeah.
Update 2. 4 years later, you would not believe how many people messaged me in the aftermath of my last post. I put them off for a long time because of everything going on, but hindsight is crazy, especially in this situation. Looking back, I realize I had nothing to apologize for. Yeah, I'm disgusted that I did. I was so desperate to try and work things out that I completely lost myself in the process. I was afraid of becoming single and had these doubts pop up about never finding a forever someone, so much that I ignored red flags in other areas of our relationship that aren't worth airing. I think I've since learned that to never be so desperate that you sell your soul for someone. The reason I'm updating is because of something one of her ex-girlfriends recently told me that surprised me. One of her ex-girlfriends, who said she was wrong about yoga and no longer talks to her, told me that my ex has a new series on her yoga Instagram YouTube where she tries something new every video. Like Yogi tries indoor skydiving. She tried aerial arts in one of the videos. It was a vlog where she sat in her home and talked about her experience trying Lyra, also known as aerial hoop. She would cut to clips of a sequence she learned in class and likely record it at the end. Many aerial studios allow students to record the sequence they learned during the last 5 minutes to remember it or post. Some of her sequences were assisted by an instructor. At my aerial studio, students are allowed to record at the end too, which I still do. While she didn't bring me up specifically, she said she wanted to try aerial straps, the apparatus I told her I trained, but that there was a prerequisite of aerial silks required by the studio. I can attest to certain apparatuses having prerequisites, and in all honesty, her vlog was pretty good.
Ooh.
Her ex-friend sent me a YouTube link because I blocked her on my socials, and she said she might try more classes because she had fun, that she brings positive energy instead of the jealousy and insecurity she displayed with me. If our interaction leads to her finding community, perhaps that will be a silver lining from our time together. Many people in aerial and circus come from a gymnastics or dance background, so the added body awareness and flexibility from yoga would help if she were interested. By the way, I'm interested in you guys listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There's a little bit left, but why did you tell us that?
I mean, it is kind of funny.
That was
She
really
broke up with
disappointing.
them, and then in a roundabout way, started doing whatever he got into, which is kind of funny.
I thought there was going to be something petty, and I'm annoyed.
There is still a little
I
bit
feel
left.
pouty.
I'm pouty. I'm angry.
I'm very pouty about this. I thought, okay, cool. She's gonna get hurt. Don't wish that on anyone. But
Then why'd
I
you
was
think
thinking,
it?
I was just
Why'd
thinking,
you think
oh,
it?
maybe that's why it's brought up right now. Because that's
Yeah,
what's
like,
gonna
why
happen.
would the ex-friend send that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If I had a friend who texted me 4 years from now, a video of my ex, I don't know, like playing piano,
Yeah.
I'd be like, why did you
I'd be like,
send that
all
to
right,
me?
cool. Like,
What am I supposed to say? As for me, I haven't found a soulmate yet, lol. I dated someone briefly some years after her, but we didn't hit it off. That's life though, and I'm trying not to worry about never getting married because that's why I stayed with her for so long. Hopefully she's changed for the better after all these years, but I'm trying to focus my energy on work and continuing aerial. I've committed more time to performing since we broke up, and I'm grateful for the aerial community I have. I'm still in the same studio where I was when we were dating, and many in my studio agreed that she was being insecure back then, to say the least. So while her video was nice, I sincerely hope she's changed for the better because it only takes one insecure person to make uplifting place feel toxic to others, and I can relate to feeling too depressed to practice in the immediate aftermath of our breakup.
my girlfriend demands I risk my job because of her friend's problems.
No!
I, male 19, work in Target, and we recently received a new store team lead like a GM. In early 2020, a few team members in our store began wearing equality clothes. This is masks and face coverings mostly, that they bought for themselves, and they were not Target brand. A few weeks later, Target began providing us with Target branded equality t-shirts and masks that we were allowed to wear on site. And our old STL, store team leader, allowed team members to continue to wear the outside brand equality stuff that people had already bought if they wanted to. But he is no longer here now, and we have a new STL. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Not Sure 23, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit.
Woo.
And I am Angie.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Riley.
And OP says our new STL has issued a change since coming on board. He's fully supportive of supporting equality causes, and our team leads have even volunteered with team members at volunteer events as well to support the cause. However, he prefers that we wear Target brand equality clothing instead of outside or homemade stuff, since in the case of a customer potentially having an issue with it, it'll be easier to handle if it's a nationally handed out product compared to something that isn't a part of the dress code. For me, I wore them in rotation with my other regular work clothes, just like I did during Target's Pride Month shirts on rotation, along with our occasional new promotional clothing drops. However, this is where the problem began. I work mostly backroom, and my girlfriend, female 18s, works mostly register. One of her friends has been wearing a BLM t-shirt dating back to before our new STL arrived, and from what I've been told, our new STL talked to him after he continued to wear his own outside face coverings, even after he made the announcement about the change. However, even after that talk, he still continued to do it. Is it any of my business? No. He works guest services, and I only see him in passing when I bring online orders to the front for a few moments, and we don't really talk anyway. However, my girlfriend is more casual with the people up front because from the few times I've worked up there, there's more standing around and dry moments that can provide more time to talk and chill, in my opinion. So she's pretty cool with most of the people up there. However, after he received a write-up for continuing to do so after being talked to, he apparently told some others, including my girlfriend, that he's being targeted and shouldn't be told how to protest. Personally, I prefer to keep politics out of work when it comes to talking to fellow team members, but I do wear the equality and pride shirts like anything else, and many others I know do the same thing. However, my girlfriend agrees that he's being targeted, and she told me that she wants to stand with him and protest. I told her that I don't really know the person too well, along with my stance about not talking politics with other team members, and most definitely not protesting the place I work at, when in my opinion, I don't necessarily agree with him being targeted. We're provided with equality shirts and masks and face coverings, but he's insistent on wearing custom stuff that isn't store branded even after being talked to. And I disagree with how my girlfriend says that makes our new STL the R word. Okay.
Oh, wait. Whoa.
Okay. That's crazy.
Wait,
because we're talking about equality. We're
and
talking
she's
about
using
protest,
the R word?
and she's just straight up using the R word.
What?
That's crazy.
I had thoughts, and then that just wiped my brain.
That's wild,
That's
dude.
crazy.
We needed to pause there.
I'm sorry. She's trying to protest for equality, but is using slur?
That's so crazy, dude. Oh my
Huh?
gosh. Okay, well, yeah. The thing is like, I don't think the new STL is like, no, you aren't allowed to protest. They are literally giving them equality shirts and
Okay.
stuff.
I'm all about a good protest.
Yeah.
You know me. I like a protest. I think protests are important.
Sure.
However, when you work at a place,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be aware that certain forms of protest, companies not going to like.
Yeah.
Think that what you're protesting for is more important than your job, which it probably is or might be.
Mm-hmm.
Then you just have to be prepared to lose your job. You cannot ask other people
Yeah.
who are,
Back to the story. I told her that she's free to do what she chooses and that it is her opinion and she's allowed to have it like I'm allowed to have mine. But she told me that she wants me to protest alongside her, but I told her that I don't really feel comfortable doing so. I don't consider Target a career job and I would have left sooner if not for keeping something to have money during the pandemic, but I'm actually in the process of working towards a management position and the last thing I need is to protest against management. However, she called me selfish for not wanting to support him and, quote, only looking out for myself, to which I told her it's none of my business what another employee does, him, when I barely even know him, along with how I'm not going to risk my job during a pandemic when I have to pay for my rent. I live by myself, my car insurance, my gas, and my tuition by myself. She doesn't pay for anything, but she's calling me selfish and entitled. Her parents cover her gas, bought her car, pay for her college, and don't charge her rent. And someone else commented last time that, quote, it's easy to take a stand when you don't have much to lose.
Yes, it is a very privileged take
Yeah.
to say that other people who are not protesting for something that you think is important, I mean, if it's for BLM, that's very important.
Sure.
It is a very privileged take to say that if you see someone else not protesting the same way that you are, that they're being selfish or don't support the cause
Exactly.
when you have money and a plan to fall back on
Right.
if you lose this job. I would say I'm in a position where I am able to go to a lot of different protests for things that I believe in because I have more privilege in that. Therefore, I think that with that privilege, I want to use that
Yeah.
for good.
Yeah.
But I can't go and tell a mom with 4 kids that her not showing up to a protest is selfish and hurting the cause.
Right.
That would be hypocritical and pretty stupid of me.
Yeah.
So I think that it's unfair for
Yeah.
her to expect that from you when she has a totally different situation.
I absolutely agree. So I feel like she's shaming me for not putting myself out there with her, saying stuff like she's disappointed in me, but I refused to argue with her initially. I ended our first conversation by saying that we're allowed to have different opinions and that this was more so her friend than mine, and that while I love and support her, currently rethinking our relationship while writing this, it isn't fair for her to say those things because my opinion is different than hers. However, she continued to shame me, so instead of fighting back, I just walked away and decided to go home, although I didn't consider ending things as of yet. I figured that she was really upset with the current political climate, and it was just a one-night argument, something that couples have and have to work through. But when I tried to talk to her again a few days later, it didn't go any better, and she just repeated her stance and continued to insult me. And there are some comments. Comment number 1 says, "It isn't like you have to have an elaborate breakup plan. Just tell her that recent events have made you realize that she can't deal with disagreements without resorting to name calling and insults, and that is not the kind of person you want to be in a relationship with. So it's over." OP says, "This is my first relationship, so I was a little nervous about how to do it exactly since we work in the same job, which is why it's slightly more weird and something I should have also considered maybe earlier too, but it doesn't excuse the insults that she gave." Yeah, also, she might be quitting her job soon, so you'll be good.
Which is her right. If you don't want to work for a corporation that doesn't support the causes that you believe in, then don't.
Yeah.
I agree.
As simple as that. So there is a response. "As a Target worker myself, tell your HR you broke up if she's giving you any trouble at work, or even your STL." Comment number 2 says, "You sound very mature and level-headed. She sounds very immature and inconsiderate. You don't have to go into a whole spiel, but you can say something to the effect of, you want to support your friend, and I understand that, but I also understand that you think I'm selfish and that you have tried to shame me because I don't see things the way you do. The difference between the two of us is that you live at home and your mom and dad pay for all of your bills, but I am an adult and I live on my own and I take care of my own bills. I'm not about to risk my livelihood because someone else has an opinion about what I should think. Since your opinion of me is so low, it's best if we end this now. Don't be angry when you say it, just say it very matter-of-factly. I think you're making the right choice to end this. The last thing you want in your life is someone telling you how to think. It's so annoying when people do that. And for the record, I think your level head would make you a very good manager." And we do have an update.
Yeah.
Oh boy, do we think they're gonna make it?
I honestly think that they could get out of this without breaking up. If he came to her and said, like, "Hey, I'm really hurt that you think that, you think all of these things and that you've been saying all of this stuff.
Right.
And, like, these are the reasons why I can't do this." And
Yeah.
don't come from, like, they're your friend, not mine. Just be like, "I don't have the same, fallback that you do. I don't have the same safety net."
Yeah.
And, like, if you want to be truly a good activist, you just have to understand that people come from different backgrounds and
Yeah.
different circumstances and have that conversation.
Exactly.
And if she still is like, then it's over.
Right. But we do have an update. So it was after our second talk, the follow-up, that I considered ending things, but I wanted to try once more just to have no regrets in thinking that I didn't try hard enough. But after her most recent comments, I'm just looking for assurance to potentially end things now. When I talked to her again, I told her that I want to work through our disagreement like adults and that shaming has no place from me or from her, along with how I do support the cause if she doesn't think I do. And that I have worn the equality in pride t-shirts on many occasions. But she told me that it's easy to wear pride shirts because people haven't been through anything compared to black people.
Whoa.
And that comment really put me off and made me think that she wasn't able to be reasoned with. By the way, I hope that I can reason with you and convince you to watch full episodes or listen to full episodes with more stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is, and search OK Storytime. That's where you're going to find them.
Search it up.
So you can listen to them.
Mhm.
There's a little bit more to the story. I say we just roll right through.
Yeah.
I have a few friends that are that she knows and has met on numerous occasions, and to hear her say something like that just set me off. I don't know if she thinks that she's testing me or what in the world made her flip out on this all of a sudden when her friend is in hot water and we have nothing to do with it. But I don't know. Maybe she has a thing for him. I don't know either. I'm just confused and tired and a bit angry, to be real with you, and I just want to ask how I should go about ending things with her, or not, if someone has a better idea than me. But at this point, I'm struggling to understand why she's getting so worked up about someone else's business that isn't our own. And she said that I'm no better than our new STL for agreeing with him. What should I do about her in this situation? I already know, but I'll take whatever advice I can get on how to potentially end things. That's the end of that story.
My boyfriend's mother doesn't like me anymore.
Oh, man.
My 22 female boyfriend's 23 male mom, I think 50s, no longer likes me. I've been dating her son for over a year and met her a little before Christmas last year. I've always been respectful, even called her ma'am and his dad sir, until they told me to stop. By the way, this comes from Jade Goddess, and you can submit your own stories on the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Angie.
And I'm Riley.
And OP says, the issue is with my parents. My dad is manipulative, my mom is an enabler, but they're paying my tuition, and becoming a doctor isn't cheap. No, it isn't.
Wow. Yeah. Nope.
Anna, my boyfriend's mom, wasn't happy that I didn't tell my parents about us moving in together back in May. The reason, my parents are old school. They don't think I should live with any man but my husband. I tested the waters with my mom since she isn't always bad. I told her about sleepovers at my boyfriend's house and she wasn't happy, but she didn't tell my dad because she didn't want to deal with his anger. I'm not comfortable telling my parents about living with my boyfriend, and honestly, I don't think it's their business. When Anna asked why I didn't tell them, I was honest. I'm scared my dad will blackmail me with tuition money and make me choose between my boyfriend and my dream career. I don't want to choose. I want both. Anna wasn't comfortable with my decision, but said she understood. I promised once I found another way to pay for school, I'd tell them since they'd have nothing to use against me. She seems satisfied. About a month later, my boyfriend told me Anna thinks I'm not telling my parents, so I'd have a safety net if we broke up. I told my boyfriend I'd rather live in my car than go back to my parents' house. Last weekend, Anna went off on me saying I'm disrespecting her and her son. I'll admit, work was stressing me out, and I was easily agitated when my boyfriend accidentally pushed my buttons. But I apologized many times and told him I'd do anything to make it up to him because it was wrong to take my stress out on him. I never yelled, hit him, or called him names. I just shut down when upset and cried by myself. My boyfriend told me what to do. I did it, and he forgave me. Anna texted me about this, and I showed my boyfriend and cried. Family means everything to him, so hearing his mom say these things was like the old 1-2 to the gut, especially since I've been nothing but nice to her. I understand she didn't like me taking stress on her son, but she was still mad about the parent situation too. That point should be dropped considering I'm still dependent on my parents for school, and Anna said education is super important. My boyfriend told me not to talk to her and called her himself. She lectured him and gave an ultimatum. Either I tell my parents or she no longer recognizes us as a real couple. Why are you involving yourself? That's so frustrating.
I'm really confused. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so
What's
Anna is
happening?
Opie's boyfriend's mom.
Okay.
Morio Esca says, easy, tell them you're going to drop out of uni to marry the boyfriend. They'll compromise. Yeah, it's like, oh, wait, we actually want you to go to school. I understand she didn't like me taking stress out on her son, but she was still mad about the parent situation too. That point should be dropped considering I'm still dependent on my parents for school, and Anna said education is super important. My boyfriend told me not to talk to her and called her himself. She lectured him and gave an ultimatum. Either I tell my parents or she no longer recognizes us as a real couple. She's putting unnecessary stress on our relationship. I thought since her ex-husband was harmful, she'd understand me not wanting to provoke more from my family. Because Anna matters to my boyfriend, I'm willing to try fixing her issue with me so she can accept me. What do you suggest? Edit, my boyfriend does stand up for me. He told Anna she was being disrespectful, that he's a grown adult who can make his own choices. She can have opinions, but she can't share them with him or me. I mean, I would have told OP to block Anna. Because why is she texting your girlfriend
Literally.
about the circumstances under which you guys can be together? I'd be like, Mom, you need to
Yeah.
never text my girlfriend again, please.
It's just so weird. It's like, don't get involved in my family's drama
Yeah.
now. Like because then in one case it's like, okay, if I don't tell them, then she'll make us break up
Yeah.
when we're two adults living apart from her. But if I do tell, then my parents possibly won't even pay for my tuition and will maybe make us break up, however that works.
It is literally up to OP and her boyfriend whether or not he's okay with her keeping the secret from her parents.
Yeah.
She doesn't even like.
Yeah. And can we lie to Anna? Like, can we lie?
Yeah, and say,
unless-
yeah, we told them.
Yeah, because there's no reason that they would have each other's phone numbers
Hopefully
if
not.
OP's parents didn't know, right?
He doesn't care if she likes me because we love each other and I'm part of his family now. He said he won't ask for her approval and her opinion doesn't matter. Since he feels this way, maybe I don't need to stress about this anymore. I just got home and we talked about his conversation with his mom. I only focused on Anna and me because that's where the conflict is coming from. And there are some comments. Comment 1 says, girl, you don't have a parent problem. You have a boyfriend problem. Let him go back to his mother. She's spending way too much time in your business. If you need him for the rent, get a roommate. There are plenty of reasons for a parent to have an opinion or get involved in a child's life. This is not one that should concern your boyfriend's mom. Let him go. OP says, I can understand your point, but I don't think my boyfriend is the problem. He's always had my back. I'll admit I was worried that he would submit to his mom and let her control him, but he's talked to her multiple times over the past few days. He said he doesn't approve of her giving him an ultimatum, and he told her that she can have her opinions, but she can keep them to herself because he loves me, and I've shown him love and kindness. He told me if she's gonna make him pick, he picks me. I did explain that I don't want to come between him and his mom because I understand he loves his family, but he said I'm not making him choose. His mom is, and that's a her problem. But thank you so much for your input. Comment 2 says, sweetheart, Anna is being manipulative and toxic. Your boyfriend needs to stop being a mama's boy and telling her information about your relationship that has nothing to do with her. I somehow think that this is not going to be a good long-term relationship. Your boyfriend cares way too much what mommy thinks. I doubt he'd protect you against her. You need to have a serious talk with your boyfriend. OP says, I can bring this up when we go to therapy. We got a therapist recently to help with our communication. I feel he has stood up to me. I only mentioned her side and my side because I was concerned about us, not the three of us. My boyfriend told Anna that she's being disrespectful towards me, and if she wants to force him to pick sides, he'll choose me. That if she wants him in her life, she'll have to keep an open mind and be kind. She can have her opinions, but she can't share them with him and me. I'm sorry I didn't mention his POV. I was focused on me and Anna with the post. And edit, do you have suggestions I could advise him of? He said he sometimes vents to his mom. He should stop doing that if it concerns you. I understand the need to vent, and I sometimes vent to my best friend or to Reddit. What can I suggest he does so he doesn't have to talk to his mom? I thought about a therapist, but things are backed up. I'm using Reddit for help until the clinics call me back. Everyone is booked up like crazy, and there is an update. I genuinely think if his mom is going to continue to harass you, then you have to tell him that he can't give out personal information about your life to her.
Yeah, and I feel like that is hopefully understandable. Like, it wouldn't even need to come off as like, you know, oh, you can't do this. You know, like you can't share this information. I feel like you'd be able to tell him that with just like, hey, like, I don't think it's the best idea to do that
because of everything we've already seen.
Exactly. So yeah, I feel like definitely talking about that, I feel like you guys can come to a conclusion on that. I'm sure he'd understand. Because it's not like he's doing nothing. Like some of those comments were like he needs to suck it up. And,
I think that some of those comments were unfair.
Yeah, because he absolutely understands that this is wrong. He is, trying to separate OP from it and is like, no, let me talk to her. Like, which is great, which a lot of these toast spine people we see don't do.
I agree.
And he's doing it, so that's great.
Also, I think this is somewhat of a newer problem, to be clear. So, like, he's kind of having to figure out how to deal with this, on the fly. Because Anna and OP had a good relationship before this.
Right.
She said that. So it's like, I would give him a minute.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a breakup yet. Update. I can't remember everything I said in comments last time, but people were concerned about my boyfriend not standing up for me because of what his mom was saying. She has called me disrespectful towards her and her son and said she wouldn't recognize us as official because I was hiding our living situation from my parents. Last Saturday, we invited them over for dinner because his mom kept complaining she never got to see the apartment, completely disregarding that my boyfriend and I weren't ready for guests. I suggested inviting her over to shut her up about it and give her more information about my situation. Before this mess, she seemed so loving and caring. It was jarring to see her do a complete 180. My boyfriend had my back the whole way. When his mom called me disrespectful, he called her out and told her she couldn't disrespect me and to keep her unasked opinions to herself. At dinner, he was a buffer to make sure she wouldn't go off on me. She did listen to what I had to say. I gave her more details about things my dad has done and how my parents won't approve of me living with a man I'm not married to. I also told her what I said before was still true. If I found another way to pay for university, I'd have no reason to lie about my living arrangements. My boyfriend and friends agree it's none of his mom's business what I tell my parents, but I was trying to go with kindness instead of going off on her. His mom has a bad history with her ex-husband, so I thought she'd understand me. She said she did understand and told me to take out student loans instead of accepting tuition money from my parents. Crazy. As a parent, crazy advice. To be in debt rather than not be in debt?
Yeah, right? This is crazy. I'm really trying to understand her perspective because
Bad perspective.
because I kind of read ahead a little bit, but she obviously doesn't want like the parents to be like taken advantage of with their money. In some cases, it's like, okay, it's more complicated than that. Like what? Like
That's ridiculous.
there's, it's just weird. It's like, is this mom afraid of that happening to her or something like that? Like,
no idea. She said I was stealing from them and they could sue me if they found out I lied. No, they can't.
I don't think so.
I asked how they could sue me for using money they gave me for tuition. She said because they think I'm living with a girl instead of my boyfriend, they can sue for the money since they didn't give it as a gift. At this point, I realized she's not the sharpest tool in the shed and just wanted her to leave. So I stopped talking and listened to his parents give their input. My boyfriend and friends don't understand what she's talking about. None of us are lawyers, but she claims she's seen it happen before. Cite your sources. To who?
Yeah.
When?
I need
How?
receipts.
This makes no sense to me. My boyfriend supports my decision not to take out loans if I can help it. He has loans and doesn't want me to have debt too. By the way, you wouldn't be in debt to us if you listened to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio, and you'll be debt-free from us. There's a little bit left to this story. Do you have any final thoughts?
She doesn't know what she's talking about.
She doesn't have a gosh dang clue what she's talking
I
about.
bet you she wishes she has the money so she could have the power over OP to do whatever she wants.
Yeah, she's just like, oh my gosh, OP is gonna do this to me someday, or like I am having no control. I wish I had this money to hang over their head.
Yeah. It's so silly.
Yeah,
So
it's
very
very
silly.
silly.
But there's a little bit left.
Yes, there is.
I'm done discussing this with her. I only explained myself, so I can't say I didn't try to fix things. I was being extremely nice for my boyfriend's sake because I don't want to make him choose between me and his mom. His mom already gave him that ultimatum weeks ago, and he chose me. We love each other, and she isn't changing that. My boyfriend has been amazing. He's had my back, supported me, and agrees his mom wasn't giving good advice. I've done my due diligence, and if she oversteps in the future, I'll make my boundaries clear and she can either respect them or leave me alone. We have a vacation already paid for in July 2022 with his parents, aunt, and cousins. My boyfriend and I are seeing a couples therapist who thinks we're doing well. Maybe if his mom still has issues, she can come to therapy. Right now, I'm focusing on myself and my relationship with my boyfriend because those are what's important in my life, not other people's opinions. Comment 1 says, I'm not a civil law attorney, but I am a family law attorney. I don't know where you live, so there may be some very weird statute in your jurisdiction, but I am 99% certain that she is A, incorrect about your parents being able to sue you, B, aware that she's incorrect and just trying to scare you into doing what she wants, C, kind of a clown. I am a lawyer, but I'm not your lawyer, and this is not legal advice. Folks, that's the end of that story.